Hello boxing fans, right now I'm talking St. Patrick's Day's fight. That's Matthew Macklin versus Sergio Martinez. And we're going to start with Matthew Macklin now. He just came off an unofficial victory over Felix Sturm in Felix Sturm's hometown. I had the fight 2 rounds to Macklin. The judges, unsurprisingly, had it to Sturm, even though he was outpunched in almost every round. So what can you say? Anyway, Sturm was rated as number 2 in the division, so right now that means Macklin must be number 2 in the division. Anyway, like I said, the fight's on St. Patrick's Day, so that's a big selling point for Matthew Macklin. Obviously, I'm talking about his attributes now. He's got a good defence, he tucks his elbows in, he comes forward, he's quite tight. Looking at his style, he's got a come forward pressure style, he looks good. When he comes forward and lands shots to the body, switches from body to head quite fast, especially in the Storm fight. Had Storm in all types of trouble in the opening rounds. I think Storm pretty much gave away the first 4 to 5 rounds straight. His only losses were 154 pounds, where he was weight drained, and stylistically he was very wild. If anyone says, "Oh, but he lost to Felix Sturm," he didn't lose to Felix Sturm, because that was a robbery. I dismiss that. He's got good speed and okay power. He can punch, but he's not a one-punch knockout artist. And he does use good volume of punches each round. So if you look at the Storm fight in particular, he lands quite a lot of punches, to the fact that it's hard to give rounds against the opposition unless you're looking for clean punches. But even then, who'd you give the round to? The guy who lands 1 clean punch, or the guy who lands 12 punches partially blocked? You know what I'm saying? It's hard. So what are his key ways to victory in this fight? He needs to use his tight guard. Right, he needs to box well and not to give Martinez much to work off into his counter-punching style. He needs to fight at a very high tempo and use a high work rate, in which Martinez will be out of his comfort zone. He needs to get close and work on the inside as well. He also needs to make Martinez move backwards to reduce his punch power. And he cannot take clean shots. If he takes clean shots, he's going to give away rounds against the home favourite. Obviously, moving on to Martinez. Martinez is the heavy favourite in this. Obviously, he's a slick southpaw counter-punching style. He's very unorthodox. He's a bit of a anomaly in terms of what you'll expect from people in this division. He possesses a lot of speed, power and skill, all combined. He's got a very athletic background. I mean, he used to be a footballer before he was a boxer in Argentina, I think it was anyway. He draws his opponents in by shoving his chin up in the air, so that he's teasing them into to open up and take a shot. Then he counter punches them with the right hand and with a straight left as well. He doesn't seem to throw large amounts of shots. He's more quality than quantity, and in America, I don't think that's a brilliant thing, because sooner or later he'll end up fighting a big draw, and it'll always go against him. In my opinion, if he's against an American, especially, they'll look for quantity, or if quality doesn't always landing 1 punch. It's hard to give rounds based on 1 punch, whereas it's hard to explain. What I mean is, if you land 2 punches and the other guy lands 12, and your 2 punches were clean, but 12 of his were partially blocked, it's hard to give rounds to you because you're still taking a lot of shots. One of his greatest assets is obviously his lateral movement, and that'll be his best asset in this fight. Now, what are Martinez's key ways to victory? He needs to use the lateral movement. He needs to land shots from wide angles, and he needs to draw Macklin in and lower that defence, open up his tight defence and counter him. I think he needs to. The key punches are literally the right hook and a straight left hand. So going into my prediction for this fight, and this is what I see happening, I'm going to say unanimous decision for Martinez. Reason is, Martinez is the heavy favourite, but every time he fights a guy who puts up a high work rate and also a high tempo, he doesn't seem to fight very well. And what I'm talking about is, Paul Williams put up a very high tempo work rate, and he couldn't deal with it. Marg in the first fight, he probably won the fight, but he didn't. It wasn't a shutout by any means. Also, Pavlik didn't put up a high work rate, and he won that fight. Who else didn't put up a high work rate? Barker, and like I said, he won that fight, but even that fight was close, I thought. There's another one. Antonio Margarito's a pressure fighter, and even though that's 147 pounds, he couldn't deal with the pressure, so that's one of his main weaknesses in this division. But like I've said, as a 160-pound boxer, Martinez is totally different. He's pumped up, he looks good, he's got the speed, power, and skill. He's decent, you know. I think that Macklin may get some success, but in reality he'll be outclassed by the better boxer. I think the stoppage will be on the cards for Martinez, but I think Macklin, he's proved many times he can take shots, and I don't mean tequila. You know, he's a good boxer, but I just don't see the KO, so I'm going to go for unanimous decision for Martinez.